Welcome to lesson 15 of my note reading crash course, and in this lesson we're going to review all of the notes in the bass staff and the treble staff, and I'm going to give you a few more hints on ways to remember these notes individually. The first hint that I'd like to show you is the aces trick. And so if you look at the space notes in the bottom of the bass clef, you can see that these first three spell the word ace, and they're found here, and that's 1, 2, 3 space C with its skip neighbors E and A. And that spells the word ace. You can also find an ace on these line notes here. So we have A, C, E. And then we also have another C here in our 1, 2, 3 space C from the treble clef, and it's in the middle of another ace. So as you can see, we have 3 aces. And these notes, if we can think about the C, really helps us to quickly locate and name those notes. Another thing we can do is sort of group the notes together in the traditional manner, which is to really pay attention to the lines or the spaces. So many people will use mnemonics or little rhymes to help them remember notes. For example, they would say something like, "Good boys deserve fudge always." And there's a C at the top here. Good boys deserve fudge always. So we'd be playing those like this. Good boys deserve fudge always. I made one up a while back about Glad garbage bags. No product placement intended. Glad bags don't fall apart. Glad bags don't fall apart. And the other thing that you can say is GBD. So we have GBD for those 3. GBDF, GBDF A, GBDF A, GBDF A. That's just really saying the names of the notes quickly. It's kind of gibberish, but GBDF A will help you get through those in a really fast way. It's much quicker to say than good boys deserve fudge always. GBDF A. And remembering that it starts on the ground floor, this is G. So these line notes, they all have a fairly easy way of remembering them. GBDF A, we remember G easily because it's the ground. We remember D easily because it's in the mid-dole. Hey diddle diddle, D's in the middle. We remember F easily because it comes out from this bass clef and it's a guide note. And then A is at the top, so it's like A1, it's on line 1. And then down here we have B. I don't really have a trick for remembering B, but it's the only one that doesn't have a little trick. So then we can turn our attention to the treble clef line notes, and we have a GBDF here as well. So here's GBDF, and it's E GBDF. So they play like this: E G B D F, E G B D F, E G B D F. And again, we can remember these notes in a variety of ways. If we think about our flag, this top note is the flag at the top of the pole. We can remember this note easily because it's treble G and it's coming out from the inside of the treble clef. And then these other notes, E is at the bottom, close to middle C, and B and D are in the middle. So E G B D F or E G B D F, those are good ways of remembering the lines. And the silly rhyme would be every good boy deserves fudge, or every good boy does fine, or Ernie gave Bert dog food. You can come up with any variety of rhymes that helps you remember. I personally prefer EGBDF or EGBDF, and some kind of really quick way to get through these. I don't prefer sentences. They're not my favorite way to do it. I like easy, and trying to remember which sentence it is just doesn't work for me. So these are all of the line notes. I'm going to start playing them down here. G, B, D, F, A, C, E, G, B, D, and F. So as you can see, I've played every second note from the lowest G to the highest F on the staff. Now we also have the space notes, and we really talked about a lot of these a moment ago when we talked about the aces. So in the bass clef, we have ace G and then B, baby bluebird. So ace G, or all cows eat grass. So this B is sitting on the top, but here we play these in the bass clef. All cows eat grass. And here's B. So here's ace G, A, C, E, G, B. These are my bass clef space notes, and you can see that they alternate and skip between each. And then in the treble clef, I have another ace as well. So here we have ace at the top and F below. So this inside the staff spells the word face, F, ace. And those notes are here, F, A, C, E, F, ace. And then of course we have the note D, which is like a little drip. Sometimes I think of these two guys together. I think of drip and blob. If the drip falls from this line, it lands on this line as a blob. Drip and blob. All right, so those are all of the notes that we know in the treble and bass clef and some quick ways to think about them. And now we can play through this exercise in the lesson, beginning with the line notes, and every one of these notes we're going to play with third finger. So starting at the beginning in bass clef. G, B, D, F, A, C, E, G, B, D, F. Moving to spaces. A, C, E, that's an ace, G, F, A, C, E, that's an ace. Now, beginning in the left hand, on line 2, we've got ground floor, we've got top line, A, we've got hey diddle diddle, D's in the middle, we've got bass clef F, now we've got middle C, here's D above, 1, 2, 3 C, here's flag F, back to treble G, then we've got top space G of bass clef from ace G. Then we have 1, 2, 3 C, we have the bottom of our ace, and back to G. In the right hand we've got A from ace, E from ace, C from ace, 1, 2, 3 C, and F. So keep on practicing all of the notes that we've learned in these lessons, and before you know it, you'll be reading and playing with ease. I also encourage you to recopy this exercise, and also any exercises that you haven't taken the time to write out previously, just pause the video and write them out on some blank staff paper. It really will reinforce your learning. Think of each note's name as you write it down and pay close attention to where you've written it on the staff. Great work. Join me for my next series of note reading lessons, which will include sharps and flats and reading in key signatures.